Nunc fluens facit tempus, nunc stans facit aeternitum. So said Boethius, the 5th century philosopher, who was sentenced to death to be grinded to a pulp for a crime he did not commit. And those words were written in his Consolations of Philosophy. A wonderful book written during this sentencing. If you're familiar with Camus' The Stranger, it's sort of the real life version of that book. And what the words mean are the now that passes produces time, and the now that remains produces eternity. The now that passes produces time, and the now that remains produces eternity. I've grappled with those words thinking about what they truly mean, and I'm really curious to get your thoughts because it's kind of a deep thought. Because on one sense, you could think that the now that passes that produces time is a bad thing and that we truly want eternity. And yet, how many of us have an experience in our life like Martin Seligman's dogs from the learned helplessness experiments where our feet were shocked just a bit too many times and we learned not to jump over the fences that are just that high, that we could move past in an instant, and yet we've been trained in internalized depression in our lives. And that's the now that stands, and it produces eternity throughout our life. Or I can only imagine what Boethius experienced sitting in that prison cell waiting for his death sentence, not knowing which day it will come. Was that now an eternity? Or was that now in the midst of time? See, most people want to get out of time because they're stuck in the past. And they're stuck in all of these thoughts, beliefs, traumas, experiences, education that they've had, which limits them in the future. And yet, right now is the present moment. And the question is, does the present moment pass or is it in eternity? It's a good question. I'm really curious to see what you think. Much love, many blessings. This is Benjamin Rolnick. Have a beautiful, beautiful day today.